Welcome. Take It Up with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Ann Coleman, who is the VP of Sales Operations at PowerSchool. Ann, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me, Jessica. Hello, everyone.
Great to have you on the show because I've heard of PowerSchool. You have this unified school information system, and it's a pretty dominant player in the ed tech industry.
Yes,
right?
it's actually student information system. It's a complete suite that is specific for K-12.
Okay.
Yeah. I just started there 3 weeks ago, so I'm still learning my team, but very happy to be there.
Well, they brought you on because I think there's a huge opportunity for your company to continue to accelerate in this market. But your specialty, let's talk about this. Sales operations and business development. You know a lot about aligning sales and marketing to make that engine a lot more powerful and accelerate the growth for companies.
Absolutely. So I wear different hats in my job right now, which I love. I manage a sales development team and also a sales operations team, your typical deal desk contracts, RFPs and proposals. So it's quite a big team, about 60 to 80 people. So there's a flavor of sales and a flavor of sales operations and a flavor of the proposals and bids. Again, as I mentioned, this is my third week at PowerSchool, but I have a pretty, I would say, long journey in sales and sales operations. What's unique about my experience is I actually started at Oracle a bajillion years ago as a financial analyst doing comp planning and forecasting, and then at Oracle moved my way up to sales, direct sales and inside sales, and came back, and at Oracle, I was there for 11 years and run the sales operations team. So after that, I moved into several tech companies. Right before PowerSchool, I was with LMA as Vice President of Field Services. So again, I'd like to mention that what's unique about my role is I have a sales development team that is calls out to prospects and customers to sell the products.
And how big is this team?
It's about, I'd say, 60 people.
Okay.
We do call international as well. So we have Asia Pac and EMEA. But also focus in North America, including Canada. So what's unique about that is we have a strong partnership. To be successful in sales development, actually, you need to have a very strong partnership with your marketing team and your demand generation team and your product marketing team, because they're really the engine that provides you with air cover.
Yes.
So a sales development team, what they do is they call prospects and customers, and they're the first entry of sales.
Now, do they call based on a marketing qualified lead list of leads, or is this cold calling?
Both.
Okay.
So there's an inbound and an outbound team.
Okay.
So the inbound team will be the phone calls, right, or leads that come from the web. But I'd say 75% of their time is outbound calling, so cold calls. Yeah.
I see. What about the marketing effort in building awareness with specific people and building credibility with them? So before they even talk to the sales folks, they've already learned a lot about what your solution can do and some of the customer testimonials about it to give it credibility. Who's handling that?
Well, that's an effort between marketing and sales, right? So we run a lot of campaigns. Previously, in my job at LMA, we run tons of campaigns that's very targeted to specific product. We actually call it like, we add fun to it, right? So we call it Shark Week. So every Wednesday, we do an outbound campaign to a specific target, a specific product. And what's fun about it is everybody gets on the phone and, as they say, dial for dollars, right? So, but there's a whole planning. It has to be programmatic.
Yes.
We plan before we execute,
right.
And the planning involves the team from marketing that writes all the collaterals with the help of the product marketing team. an email blast sent out under the name of the sales development rep.
Right.
Sends out to prospects or customers. It depends what the campaign is. Even before that, there could be a webinar behind that that the sales development team also calls out to on the registrants and the attendees.
Right.
But more importantly, if that's a successful email blast or a webinar, you'll get a lot of MQLs, so people know about marketing qualified leads, right?
Yes.
So the job of the SDR is to make that MQL an SQL, which is a sales qualified lead.
And what have you found to be very effective from the sales development team? Like, what exact tactics work well?
Well, first of all, again, it's the right marketing, right? But second is to make sure that they have done their call planning before they call. And they should make at least 50 calls a day. But because the more calls you make, the chances of you getting an SQL is better, right? So at least 60 calls. But in an 8-hour day, I would say 80% you'd be calling. So what do you need to do that? Is you need to be prepared. You need to have your call plan, your contact set up. So, and you have to have a training on specifically what the message is. So when you sit down and start your day, to start your call, all you have to do is press that button. If you have a dialer, it just dials, and then, every call usually goes to a voicemail, right? And sometimes when you get a live person, man, that makes your day, right? So you have to be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I guess what I'm asking is that beyond that, do you need to have a certain amount of content that is very current? Let's say they just went IPO, or they just got an award, or they just got promoted. Do you have like personalized content that is curated from the social media to feed the agent, and then they have up-to-date content that might be the one that triggers that engagement?
Yes, and again, that's what marketing's job is to provide that, we call it call to action, right? So it could be, again, a webinar, or we call it an ebook, a series of educational collateral materials that is sent out to them or via social media that a prospect reads. It's a series of educational things, and that triggers, in a typical marketing and sales CRM, there's what you call the lead scoring, right? It scores on every action that particular contact does.
Right.
And then that triggers something where it comes an incoming, or when you see the scoring as a sales development rep, then you prioritize your call. Oh, this person has hit this, read this, done this, let me call them and see how can I help them.
Right. Let's talk about best practices some more. What can you share with us based on the experiences you've had at multiple companies that you've done this? Yeah,
so really as a best practice is to be successful, you have to have a strong collaboration with marketing and sales. And make your campaigns very programmatic. What I mean about that is you need to develop a process in your CRM, whatever it is. Could be Salesforce.com. Most people use Salesforce.com now. That is a process where you agree with marketing what is the lead score, what are the steps. When you call, do you call 3 times and disqualify a lead after that, or you put it in the drip campaign, right? And also sending tasks to yourself about, I called this contact, they are disqualified for now because they're under contract. Call again in 6 months or a year. You can actually put that in your CRM. Also, a weekly meeting. I find it very useful to have a weekly meeting with my demand generation team to go through the marketing calendar. And the marketing calendar could be drip campaigns, could be the events, trade shows that the company participates in, to make sure that in the whole year you have this entire campaign of it could be competitive campaign, product-driven campaign, but fill out the calendar for the entire year. So you have a plan on how to generate pipeline for your sales team.
I find that video is actually a very powerful format. A lot of people now prefer video of a reading, right? So it's much easier to watch a show.
Yes,
And so we find that this platform of thought leadership interview as a way of generating content and awareness is actually highly effective. So I'm curious to know whether you have a program where it's a more video format of communication.
Well, at PowerSchool, again, it's my third week. I'm not sure if we have that. I'm still learning. But previously, my company, Elme, yes, we have a video. Actually, we had a video of the CEO talking about Elme on the different campaigns that they have. They have campaigns every year to generate leads. It's a whole big campaign, and we do have a video that is sent out. Actually, it's sent out by the SDR's name to promote the company and do some branding. Right. Video is very, very powerful.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that would be a good one for PowerSchool to consider, but that's not already one of the vehicles to communicate. Okay, wonderful. I wanted to go into your career background a little bit even further back, because I know you are passionate about mentoring and being a role model for others.
Yes.
Do you want to share your background and how you got here?
Sure, yeah. So I'm actually, born and raised in the Philippines. I went to high school there. I came here to go to school to UC Berkeley and liked it here and ended up staying here. When I was back home in the Philippines, I used to watch the show Streets of San Francisco. And so I fell in love with the streets of San Francisco, and that encouraged me to come here. So I started my career, actually started as an admin and aimed for, the American dream. And lucky enough to, back then, I didn't really know about Oracle. That was my first venture into the tech world. I got an interview, and that was not a lot of social media then, and you actually apply, you fax your resume. You don't email it or scan it or whatever, you fax your resume. So I did. I was lucky enough to get a good start at Oracle as a financial analyst, and always wanted to move into sales, just make more money. And I did, and ended up staying at Oracle for 11 years. That's where I grew my career and went to sales and went back to sales operations. I love my job because it allows me to use my analytical skills, having been in finance before, as a financial analyst, and also my training in sales and marketing. So that combination, I'm very happy that I can apply it in my current role as the VP of Sales Operations. I do love to mentor. Coming here from the Philippines, I didn't know what's going to happen, but I had a lot of mentors. In every company I've been, I've always picked a mentor, and that's very important. Pick someone that you trust, someone that's willing to mentor you, because not everything you learn in school, not everything you learn in your day-to-day work, or you go into seminars or whatever other educational or lectures you go to, you really learn it from somebody who has done it before. So my advice is pick someone that is willing to mentor you. And there's a lot of people that we want to see people successful, right? And to me, that's very important. In my previous company I started with 2 people. When I left, I had like 42 people. So I like building a strong team. I have mentored people that started as a tech support person, and now when I left, he's a director of sales systems. So it's a process, but it's an enjoyable process, and that's my passion. I really like to mentor. Yeah.
So now that you're at PowerSchool, which is a big company, right, over 1,500 employees, you are the VP you're brought in to make a difference for the organization. What are you excited to do?
I'm excited to actually grow with a company. You know, there's a lot of potential, a lot of really, really good, talented people, especially in my team. This is my third week, and I've slowly gotten to know them, especially my direct reports. I have 4 direct reports, and very, very seasoned people. I'm very excited because, and also establishing this relationship with marketing and building the campaigns with them. So there's a lot of process improvement that I think I can bring. And I have a really big supporter in my boss. And now that I've slowly known my teammates, I'm very excited that, this year is going to be good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing success from you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show to talk about PowerSchool and your background.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here.
Okay, thanks, Jessica.
All right, there you have it, folks. Take it up with Jessica Lee and Coleman from PowerSchool.